And we're streaming to YouTube. So now the real question is, will YouTube actually start stream? Stream health is good. Should be streaming already. We're minus 129. Okay, that's good. Are we live? I think we are. That's probably... Yeah, we are. Awesome. Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Just before it disappears, just have a look at that. That is YouTube working real well. But there we go. Hi Subuser / tech mods. Nice change. Hi Mustav. Hi Mystic Orange. Hi Ish if you're still here. Let me just post on the Discord. Posted. Yeah, how's everybody doing? How's your week been? Behind the scene sneak peek, exactly. Only the best here on the random weekly live chat where we talk about whatever. I did. I remember some things occasionally. Hold on, I'm gonna help everyone here by probably making a lot of noise. Hold on. Okay, the microphone is now balancing on a piece of foam, so it should all of the random like touches on the table and stuff should be a little quieter. I cut my finger again. Sliced the top of my finger. Yeah. Let's cut the top of this finger as well. There's fun times. And he's looking quite chipper tonight. Mixed. It's kind of like I have a habit of, as soon as I know that there is a camera on, being suddenly less manic depressive. But yeah, hi beautiful song. How are you? But yeah, fun times. How you doing, super user / tech mods? Which one should I call you now, super user or tech mods? Just almost caught my take 57. Just almost time to cut. Jesus Christ! Just cut off. Just almost cut my finger off putting in a new motherboard today. Also, lol. Nice. Stein, why am I not teasing you with one of the Strix cards in the background like I used? I can go get one if you want. I mean, there's like a shelf full of graphics cards down there if you want me to. If you need me to. Maybe time to buy one of those kitty scissors. Yeah, see, the problem is that I actually broke my 3D printer. There was the extruder or the heater element was clogged, and so I was trying to unscrew that to be able to, well, clean it out. But where the filament goes through the threaded rod is incredibly thin, and so the tiniest amount of pressure to just hold it in place cracked the threaded rod. So yeah, I've had to order a new heater element. But yeah, that's what cut my finger open. Stein, you need to tell me what size, and you need to tell me which design you would like. If you want this one, then that's fine. I can sort that. Safety gloves. Okay, yes, I could do with safety gloves. That's what the probably can't see it. It's healed quite nicely. The saw marks for were. Marco, hi. Super user, you got 2 copyright strikes this week and had to delete 125,000 views of videos. Damn. What was the copyright strikes for? Or better, yeah, don't touch anything. But how could I benchmark these lovely AMD APUs that don't work half of the time? I made the switch from YouTube to Twitch full-time. Nice. I mean, you say Twitch full-time, I take it you don't mean you're a full-time Twitch streamer. I take it you more mean you now don't post on YouTube. Driver booster keys? I am a little confused. Yeah, and IO bit again, a little confused. I could be an idiot. Matt TX, who buys APUs? Surely not the techies. Well, I mean, it depends if you are like what sort of price range you're at, because the what you call it, the 2200 is a pretty decent value for money, especially £89, which is the same price as the 1200, like the Ryzen 1200. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, the 2400, which actually is the one that's in that PC. There's another system just out on the shelf there that has the 22 in it, but the 24 is a little bit less sense because that's 140, 150 pounds, and so you're then getting into the territory of, well, you could get a Ryzen 1200 and a GPU, not quite, but the performance difference isn't that massive. But yeah. Hi, Love Up Creeper, how you doing? Stein, in that case, cancel my shout out for Liam. Let's see, this week I'll give my shout out to TechteamGB. Awesome, guys. Make sure to follow TechteamGB. No ifs, ands, or buts. Techies don't buy integrated graphics. Yeah, I mean, I suppose techies, they tend to already have systems, and therefore, yeah, ish. I mean, let me stop you there. Scottish. But yeah, no, I mean, for like average gamers and stuff, it will be cool. I suppose you're right. Techies specifically probably won't. The main interesting thing is that Intel's had integrated graphics on almost all of the chips that they sell, if not all of them, for, or at least the desktop platform anyway, for a while. And it looks like that's something that AMD isn't going to do. And they're keeping it very much APU or you know, CPU, which is a bit of an interesting one considering that all of the motherboards have like video I/O on them. So yeah, a bit of a weird one. Hi Jonathan, how you doing? Thanks, Ish. You should be a moderator. But where is my moderator? Where's he going? He's not even here. Well, a bugger. Wanna be English? Well. Stick Beater, not too bad. How's yourself? Yeah, not too bad. This week's been pretty bad on the pain side. I had a week, not last week, but the week before, that was basically pain-free, and that was really nice. But yeah, this week's been bad. Today's not been actually too bad, which is nice. Yeah. Lava Creeper, hello again. While I won't necessarily repeat Stein's comment, I can't profess to not agree to it. But hey, I'm young and don't know anything, right? Actually, I listened to Stephen Hawking's book, what's it called? A Brief History of Everything, I think, in audiobook, and that was fantastic. Really recommend it. I think it's only the offer may have been off, but it was only £2 on Google Play books. So if you can, it's worth it. It's yeah, it's relatively technical, but I'm no physicist, so yeah, thanks. Super user, I did, yes. The what you call it, archive is up if you wanted to take a look, but obviously it's just this sort of stuff anyway, so yeah. Shark 1989, what did you expect about Zen Plus? Well, I technically have Zen Plus in that PC and another one with the 22 and 2400 Gs. I am currently a little underwhelmed with those, at least on the CPU side of things, so I will hold my full judgment for Zen Plus until the sort of full Ryzen 2 lineup comes out, in which case that should be pretty interesting, but yeah. Interesting chat. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it in my full review, which, because I didn't get the samples until literally today, won't be for another week or so, week and a half, I think. That's not. So I'll sort of cover all the what do you call it, performance results and everything in that video, but it's an interesting proposition, especially for the value market. The biggest problem for me is that it didn't work for all of today. That was kind of the fun bit, trying to work it out, but yeah, funnily enough, the solution to the APUs being incredibly unstable is to overclock the graphics portion to 1500 megahertz, and it's perfectly stable. So yeah, fun times. Hi Martin, how you doing? Can someone enable logical thinking on ish? With a vacuum in the GPU market, you think game designers are back off a bit in system requirements from games? So a lot of that's down to engines, and it depends. If you're talking about large game designers, people who have made their own engines, I don't think that I don't necessarily know that they would actually back off specifically, but they may have a bit more of a concerted effort to optimize their games a bit better, and maybe focus more sort of man hours on you know, optimizing the game rather than extra content development or something, depending on the studio. I mean, people like, you know, Ubisoft and EA will always spend as much time as they can creating add-on content and stuff so that they can get more money, but you know, that's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, I don't necessarily know. Shark, I have no idea. As I said, if I was extrapolating from those chips, I would say that it's going to be a nice little bump, but certainly nothing massive. They don't seem to overclock that massively either, so it's hard to really judge. And I don't know if you would actually. I know that it's Zen 2 and a slight redesign on the architecture and stuff, but I don't necessarily know if you would call that full blown Zen 2 versus obviously the sort of 2800X or whatever, but yeah, it's kind of, I would like to see better single-threaded or IPC performance. Obviously at a massive jump, but I'd still like to see a little bit further of a jump, better clock speeds in general, including all core overclocks. And yeah, the stuff like the precision boost 2 and stuff is nice to see. So yeah. What does overclock mean? It's to effectively run the chip faster, or run the thing faster at a higher hertz rate than is initially intended. So with the CPU, overclocking is taking, say, a chip that hypothetically at stock runs at 3 gigahertz and running it at 3.2, 3.5, 4 gigahertz or whatever, depending on what it's physically capable of doing. That'd be an Upstein. Overclocking mean above your wall clock. God damn it. I'm sorry, Live Up Creeper, I am not someone who can speak your language. It'd be really nice to just magically speak all languages, or if all languages were the same thing, but you know, unfortunately I cannot. I am unable to do so, so no idea. We need more RGB in this chat. Ish, oh, you sound about RGBs here. Forgot about that. I put my clock under the desk so my PC is always overclocked. God damn it. Perhaps a large RGB sign on the back wall. Oh, I could see that. Kind of there. Yeah, right. Get a Babel fish. Did I miss something? Oh, hi Kev, that was what I was going to say. And Jack, so your X370 Mobo broke. Should I wait for X470 or just get another X370 board in just over a month's time? So the interesting thing will be that while X470 may bring extra features, although I don't necessarily know what those really are, just because we've not seen any new connectors, we've not seen any new, sort of PCIe standards or DDR standards or anything. So, well, the X470s will bring more features in theory. The X370 boards will support all of the Ryzen 2 chips, the BIOS update, etc., etc. So hypothetically, if you're happy with a feature set that comes on an X370 board that you in your price range or whatever, you're perfectly able to upgrade in the future if you want to. So I'd say go with X370. Get a bit of a deal. So yeah, and yeah, as we get closer to X470 boards being available, X370 boards will drop. Still waiting for an RGB CMOS battery holder before you upgrade. Fair play. Hi Kyle, how you doing? Love it Creeper, I said, I see crutches on the left, am I okay? I have arthritis in every joint in my body. Comes and goes, quite painful. Affects legs relatively often, also affects shoulders, neck and lower back quite a lot. So it means that I often have to use crutches or the wheelchair that I have in my car. Should be RGB crutches, god damn it, guys. I suppose it's hollow in here. Like this bit here is hollow. So technically, if you take this off, you could fit like a battery compartment in here and like small electronics, and then you could have like underglow on the bottom and like RGB lighting wrapping right. It's possible. Or have I just excited the crowd? Any idea how to flash the BIOS on an MSI Lightning X to be Z version? GPU BIOS flashing isn't something that I do that much. I would refer to the internet for that one. But yeah. RGB clothes will be a trend, probably. I mean, in theory. Hi and bye, Monax. You tried the internet, okay. I mean, I suppose what I'd probably do is check how you would flash other cards, and then like flash other NVIDIA cards. So instead of typing MSI Lightning X, whatever, just type GTX 1080 or 1080 Ti or whatever, and then go from there. Yeah, see where you get to. Hi, John's Memes, how you doing? The tool for flashing is standard or have to be MSI based? I think in terms of NVIDIA cards, you should have a relatively general one. But yeah, take a look on the internet first, because it's not something that I have experience with. RGB lasers. No worries. I got Nick for flashing, don't do it. Oh, this chat. This chat. Yeah, that's experience flashing. it means apologies or sort of sorry to hear that. Lava Creeper referencing. I know it was something Ish said, but let you know. Where's Kev anyway? He's here, I think. Are you here, Kev? Someone pester him on Discord. Actually, just as a general note, since Stein passed his selection or his shout out onto me somehow, if you want to shout someone out, Stein, let me know. But yeah, check out Kev Click Tech UK. He's somewhere here too. You should check out PC Tech Hub Martin as well. Oh, you got a 2200G. Well, check out Kev's channel for a review of the 2200G at some point in the near future. And yeah, check out Martin too. And just check both of them out. Take a look at them. They're cool guys. Make cool stuff. How about tempered glass RGB crutches with good airflow? Oh god, tempered glass on the old you know, weight bearing, probably not a good idea. Unless you're a regular in bar fights, and then you can smash it and stab people easily. I suppose. I'm sorry, Lava Creeper. I do apologize. As it'd be fantastic to have, you know, live translation or something. But sadly, that's just not quite possible yet. Even if it was just live translation to closed captions, I think that'd be pretty cool. YouTube doesn't, even in its post-processed world of captions, it doesn't do a great job at automatic captions. It certainly does a better job than it used to, but yeah, it's still not that great. Yeah, voice to text. That'd be nice. Carbon fiber. Clearly unbreakable, right? Fun times. Give it a few years, there'll be some form of in-ear translation. Yeah, I think the Pixel Buds do a relatively decent job at it, which is pretty cool. Although, yeah, Mystic Orange, it's certainly a possibility. I think it's just a case of taking that technology and, as Ish says, feeding the algorithm so that you can then more better understand the world and what's being said. Official Stuff Plus. Well, there you have it, folks. Check out Official Stuff Plus for amazing accents. What does he do, Stein? The Universal Translator is one step closer. It is indeed. Just you know, a lot. Whatisbeans.com. Pleased I didn't get them hot Apple earbuds. Yeah. What? Thanks for your satire. Oh wow. I'm copying some games from my NAS onto this laptop so I can go away tomorrow, and they're running at 245 kilobytes per second, and it's going to take more than 1 day to transfer this these like 3 games. Kev jumping in with the satire suit. Wi-Fi, yes, but it's only because the files that it's copying are incredibly small. So it's the overhead on Wi-Fi with transferring individual files is like incredible. So you end up with incredibly slow speeds for small files, which is why bigger files are better for data transfer. By stuff like copying GTA 5's XPF files, I think. All of those data files that are 10, 15, 20 gig each nowadays, they transfer really quickly, whereas all of the Rocket League files that I'm currently copying, they take forever. So Yeah, at least you can play them when you get back. You can't hear the stream, but you thought you'd say hi? Well, hi. And Clara, downside of data collection or surveillance, depending on how you, is, I assume that is, surveillance, depending on how you look at it. Yes, I totally agree. I think it comes down to usage and security with it. I cannot say that I trust anyone specifically, including the incumbents of Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. But I also can't trust the regulators and governments that are meant to protect the citizens, especially considering that, for example, the Snoopers Charter, as it's known in the UK, was deemed illegal multiple times by multiple courts. That's actually something that they're like, the bill retroactively made the spying that was done legal, which I think is insane, because that would be like, again, a politician or something changing the laws on fraud or murder, just so that they can get away with a fraud or a murder that they committed before that law was the case. You know, it's a bit mad. So yeah, why not use Steam's backup feature to compress the games, store backup files on the NAS, fewer or larger files, then download to whatever machine when needed? Steam has a backup solution? That is cool. I will need to take a look at it. The games that I'm copying aren't normally on the NAS. It was just the easiest way for me to quickly transfer files, because I had them on my desktop, and so I copied them to the NAS and then copied them to the laptop, because copying them from my PC to the NAS was 200 megabytes a second, or maybe 100 gigabyte. So yeah, about 100 megabytes per second or so. But the highest peak that I've seen on that is, sorry, the mic fell over. The highest peak that I've seen is 5 or 10, just because of Wi-Fi, which is annoying. They're listening, so I can only talk when I'm in a cupboard under the stairs. Logitech or Razer. Generally speaking, I mean I have Razer, and if I'd actually have Razer and Logitech peripherals or mice sitting right next to each other, I have the Naga Trinity and the MX Master. I also have G700S on my desk as well, because why not? But I also have a Razer Leviathan Mini on my desk, so I literally have even, which is kind of surprised. Generally speaking, my experience is Logitech makes some really nice mice, especially the wireless stuff. Their keyboards are pretty good, but the Roamer Gs have pretty limited travel distance, so if you prefer longer travel distance, then Razer. Although my personal experience so far has been that Logitech seems to have a little bit better quality control. So yeah. Burn them to CDs in 700 meg parts. Got your first sponsor this week. Do you make your scripts, or the companies that sponsor you ask you to follow the script they make? So I should clarify, I don't use scripts for any videos. I barely plan them out, which is probably why they kind of suck sometimes. It's something I'm working on, but I'm pretty bad at reading, as you probably can tell, and therefore I can't read from an autocue or whatever. That would just make videos very, very, very bad indeed. But yeah, for sponsor videos, it's generally agree a pitch, like agree what the content's going to be about, and then depending on how much freedom they want to give you, some want to sort of micromanage everything, and they want to, you know when you finished filming, know when you've, started editing, know when you've finished editing, know when it's rendered, know when, give them a copy of it, then they send it back. Or and some companies, like the ones that I did with ASUS, I'm doing another one now with those systems actually. They are brilliant because they just say, we agree on what I'm going to be talking about, what I'm going to be doing, and then generally speaking, I just go away, do, like, they send me the stuff that I need, I go away, do my thing, come back, say, hey, here's the video, they go, yeah, cool, awesome, get up, and then I do, and then they pay me, so good times. But yeah, generally speaking, I would say retain as much creative control as you can. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if it's like an add-in thing, like if it's a I wanna, like they if it's something that you're putting into a video as like an ad spot, that's what it's called, as opposed to a full sponsored video, then yeah, it's probably it's relatively common to at very least get talking points for your ad insert. Yeah, insert, thank you, Clara. Rather than going completely sort of freehand with it. But if it's full sponsored videos, then it kind of depends. Okay, so ad block, nice, ironic. That is beautifully ironic, but nice, yeah. And full sponsor video, so yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, retain as much creative control as you can get, because when you're just reading from their scripts, even if it's a good script, you're still just purely creating an advert rather than creating a piece of content that you would normally create that just also happens to benefit them, which is what I try and aim to do with like the ASUS stuff and that sort of thing. Is yeah, try and create pieces of content that you would still watch even if they weren't paying you to make them. Yeah. New meds? What are you on meds for? Like the rawness of your vids, that's what makes you stand out from the others. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I as I said, I still can't read from auto cues, so yeah, I'm just trying to plan them out a bit better so that they still end up with a little bit more flow and a little bit more understanding. But yeah, fun times. Did I miss anything? Not just bad at reading, writing too. I know speaking, articulating, calculating, drawing, sending Strix card to close friendsing. I could go on indefinitely. Yeah, you're right. You people who live in the UK, you're lucky because you can go to bed 1 hour later. Yep, that's time zones for you. That's why we're here. Your vids are good. Well, thank you, thank you. It's still they may be good, but there's still room for improvement, and the better I can get at both sort of the planning, presenting aspect, and also just the cinematography, editing aspect, just kind of all benefits you guys, I guess. So yeah. True. Oh, and I did see, also, hi Matt, and second, hi Steve. I know that you liked my my review of the Novo chairs, but actually, oh no, you can't see it. It's just slightly off screen, the Novo chairs Epic series. You can check out my review. It's on the channel. An error occurred, please try again later. Yeah, sure, feel free to refresh. I mean, I don't know if you would see this if an error occurred, but yeah, just refresh it. Some creators have great cameras, camera tech, the lot, but they come across fake. Yeah, I mean, that's just do it. Yeah, there's certainly some people that I have trouble watching sometimes, so yeah. Hi Steve, are you playing games or are you just sitting in the Discord? Self-unemployed. Hey, I'm self-unemployed. Yeah, I don't have to get up an hour early. Hi, Justice Shunt, how you doing? Dilston got a Vortex Race 3 best board you've ever touched. Nice, nice. I'm just sitting on the Discord and watching you on here, being all creepy like. Fair play, fair play. Go play some Siege and get warmed up. Have you finished all the situations yet? Self-unemployed. Oh god. God damn it, Ish. Dilston, we talking about Siege? Yes, yes we are now. What's your favourite operator? Just hopped off, nice, nice. We'll be hopping on after the stream. Yeah, who'd you main on attack and defense? I'm self-employed, it's great. I think I'll give myself a holiday tomorrow. Clara, a question for tech content creators. Do local companies, wherever you're from, source you as a means to promote a product or brand often, or are they mostly internationally known brands? So it depends how local you mean. I mean, people, I deal with a lot of system integrators or distributors who are, you know, more UK focused, obviously. So people like Stephen over Caucus UK. I mean, obviously, Nova Chairs is a global brand that he manages, but he works for Caucus UK as a furniture salesman, but he still works for Overclock UK, so I deal with them quite a lot. The systems that are there from Fierce PC, AWD IT, who else? Mesh PCs. There's a fair few like UK only system integrators, like relatively local, if you like. So they, I do work with them, you know, a fair bit. I do find it difficult to work with them, at least the specifically the system integrators, because a lot of them will come to you and say, hey, can we promote our new system? And it's pretty difficult to really get anywhere with that, because if you think about it, my demographic, the audience that watches the videos, they're something like about 30% USA, about 20% UK, about sort of 10% Germany, Canada, Australia, etc., etc. But it is still very worldwide, and so you end up with like I end up being in a position where, okay, I can review your system or whatever, but unless it's specifically unique, it's really hard to make that an interesting video for the world to see, rather than just say the UK, who are really the only target audience for the, you know, that company. So yeah, it makes it a bit difficult at times. And the more internationally known brands or the specific products that are in that sort of system, for example, makes it a lot easier to cover. But yeah. Galaxy, do you remember the MSI GS63 VR? Can you tell me how the battery life was? It's probably 2 hours-ish. 2 to 4 hours like standard web browsing kind of use, and probably sub an hour gaming. Although obviously with gaming you want to have it plugged in anyway, so yeah, 2 to 4 hours depending on what you're doing and screen brightness. That would be the main ones. You main Sledge or even Twitch and attack, and Rook and Mute for defense. Okay, fair play. I have resorted to Thermite with his rifle and ACOG. I'm far too accurate at that. And Legion on defense. Stigbeater or Jonathan, I had 3 months holiday, but I kicked it off because I didn't get a wage. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's called unemployment. Glorified furniture salesman I am. Edge UK Gamers, best sub £150 Z370 motherboard. Great channel, keep up. Thank you, thank you. Something like the Gigabytes K3 is probably around that sort of price point. They're generally pretty good. The Asus Prime ones, they're probably again around that sort of price point. And can't remember what the lower end MSI ones are, like Gaming 3 or something. If they even still do that. They're not too bad either. Generally anything you can find from Asus MSI or Gigabytes are generally pretty decent. Although specifically since you're Ed's UK gamers, you might find that Gigabyte is a little bit better just because you end up with a UK RMA center. They're the only one with a UK RMA center versus MSI and Asus and that, where if something breaks, if you don't send it to, if it doesn't get sent back to the distributor or wherever you bought it from specifically, if you have to send it back to the manufacturer, it has to go to probably Taiwan, or at very least the EU RMA center, whereas with Gigabyte you have the UK one that's in Milton Keynes. Nice guys, been there quite a few times. No comments, Stein. Yeah, Gaming Carbon, that's one. Lava Up Creeper, how cheap is a cheap gaming screen? Well, I mean, a standard 1080p 60Hz TN display goes down to about £80, I think, at the time. Like, so probably about €80. If you're talking about gaming as 144 Hz, then you're probably looking at more 150, €200. But yeah. Nori, Ed, and Ish, goddamn it. Milton Keynes is great, went around there and around and around and around. Actually, where I grew up in East Kilbride, that's the second most roundabout filled place. So I'm well used to roundabouts. Little less A and a little more E in my name, Andy. Stein? Where's the A? Or did I just say it wrong? I could have said it wrong. Today I learned. Stein. Near where I live, there's basically 3 roundabouts in a row. Nice, nice. I mean, I would say, so with East Kilbride, just on the main roads, past the Morrisons, if you start, even if you just start at the Sainsbury's roundabout, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 roundabouts in a row, all within about a mile of each other, just on the main road, and most of the ones that they go off to have roundabouts attached to them as well. So yeah, it's pretty heavy. I used to work in Milton Keynes and got lost every day. The few times, or actually quite a few times that I've been to Milton Keynes, it is complicated if you don't have a sat nav. Lava Creeper, we're talking about the road system and having roundabouts that you drive around. Yeah. What's a mile? 1.6 kilometers? I was born in Milton Keynes. I know, I remembered that. Galaxy Dark, I'm Italian. I know that in Britain you have the double mini roundabout. Now you can explain how the hell do you use it. Oh, actually, there's in Swindon, it's called the Magic Roundabout. It's where you have a central roundabout and then you have 6 mini roundabouts surrounding that central roundabout. It sounds complicated, and it is, but if you live there, you understand that you know, you mostly don't crash there. Give way to the right, indeed, indeed. God damn it, Jonathan. As gamers, I'm waiting for someone to put a roundabout in the middle of Spaghetti Junction. Oh god. It's bad enough as it is, mate. Going around that a few times, you take your life into others' hands. You really do. John's memes, I hate roundabouts, they're confusing. They're not that confusing, as long as you give way to the right, always stay in the middle unless you want to turn off, except if you want to turn off in the first two junctions, in which case stay in the left-hand lane. But if you want to take, but some roundabouts, if you stay in the left-hand lane, you're actually allowed to go around to the first three junctions or exits. And sometimes if you're in very special roundabouts, you can end up being on a 4-lane roundabout, which you then have some lanes that are suddenly, you're not allowed to carry on going around the roundabout. Some lanes you are allowed to carry and go around the roundabout. It's quite, yeah, no, you're right, and it's pretty complicated. Hate when you go around a mini roundabout and no one wants to go first. Yes, that happens so much. That happens so often. TechteamGB's lying now. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah, not confusing at all. It's only because the UK road system is absolutely terrible. A simple roundabout is like genuinely way better than the standard like American intersection. You get more cars through, you get a much safer distance, like a much safer experience, and you like with the safety aspect. If you have a the sort of standard cross-section kind of junction, you end up with the potential for cars to be head-on colliding at over 100 miles an hour total, whereas with roundabouts you can barely go about 30 around most roundabouts. So even if you pull out in front of someone and they hit you, they're going 30, not a combined total of 100. So yeah. Clara is the legal age, is 18 the legal age to drive, as super user and Jonathan said it's 17. I know it's 16 in the US, right? Actually, Stein, what's the legal age to drive in Belgium? Wait a sec, why are we talking about roundabouts again? Do you know what, this was meant to be a tech channel? Yeah, Galaxy Dark, this is meant to be a tech channel, but technically you started it. You stole my comment. Yeah. It's, you know, this is meant to be a tech channel. Roundabouts are technical. See, Matt has my back here. I haven't actually personally driven in the US, but I have been driven around in the US, and for like the interstate ones, I've seen that be a thing. I've also seen plenty of videos of people doing like 50 and then being utterly T-boned. Yeah. You can get a learner's permit at 16 but can't drive on your own until you're 18. Okay, interesting, fair play. I was looking to rent a car in Europe, but it turns out that everyone is, I think the word is arses, because I'm 21, not 25. I basically can't rent a car, as far as I can find, at least not one that isn't, you know, like a Fiat 500, something or other. Which is annoying, because I'd like to drive around some nice roads in Europe. Renting a car is 23 plus, yeah. It does vary from country to country in Europe. I think Italy, it's as low as 18, but yeah, it's annoying because I have what, 3 years, actually coming up on 4 years no claims bonus. Like I haven't had an accident in, well, ever, but I've been driving safely for nearly 4 years, and you know, a lot like 23-year-olds that have just passed their test will be able to get like rent a car. Whereas with basically no experience, but you know, me with 4 years, I can't get one, or it's an extreme premium. So yeah, annoying. I've never seen a street intersection with a speed limit above 45. Okay, interesting. I mean, it's still, you know, obviously with 45, that's 45 both ways, so add that up and it ends up being 90, which is still fatal, give or take anyway, certainly for head-on collisions. So yeah. We drive on the correct side of the road here, yes. In Italy, you must be 18 to do the driving test and drive, but 21 and you can drive only a low CC engine car. Okay, interesting. No, I did not. True, Mike TX. Very true. And StigB, so no, I did not. God damn it, Ish. I'm 12 and don't get a thing about your roundabout conversation. Apologies. We are debating the semantics of adult life. Tech chat of what kind? Exactly. We were just having this discussion of why we're talking about roundabouts and driving and not tech, but you know, whatever. Good job, Mr. Orange. So actually, one of the cool things that I've been doing this week to get it back onto tech is a tech FAQ series. I've been asking a lot of people on Twitter, and I know a couple of you have already replied, but if you want to be part of the series, I'm including viewer answers. Make sure you're following me on Twitter to be part of that. But yeah, so the first three that I've done is an 8700K or 1800X. Which one should you buy? Obviously, with the impending doom of Ryzen 2 and stuff like that, kind of wanted to get that one out first. Also got 8 gig of RAM as a viable option for gaming, especially because of the RAM prices. And then the third one that I just finished yesterday was mechanical keyboards. Are they worth it, especially for gaming? I think it should be an interesting series. I'm gonna oh, some way anyway, so can't really add anymore, but I'd really like to see what you think of them. The next one, the first one won't come out until next Saturday, so there's a bit of sort of lead time before we can before you can fully understand that, but yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I've tried to keep them as short as possible, but I think they ended up being a little bit on the longer side. I think where is it? So there's 6 minutes, 4 minutes, and 7 minutes, so it didn't end up as short as I wanted them to be, but yeah, I think it should be an interesting thing. I get to include your comments in the videos and all that sort of stuff, so yeah, it should be fun. Cars have tech, like a Tesla or something. You just got an 1800X. Nice one, nice one. What's the rest of your system? Don't change the subject, stick to roundabouts. Oh, Stig Beater, we used to drive on the left, now we drive on the road that's left. Potholes. Lol, was that a subliminal message, something flashed on screen? No, it's just the for some reason OBS doesn't like dealing with this camera quite right, and so there's a bit of sort of screen tearing with it. Not entirely sure why. Tried fixing it. I've tried, in fact, I'm pretty sure that I rebuilt the PC with a new system, reinstalled Windows and stuff, so yeah. Oh god, Matt. For anyone who hasn't seen or read that comment yet, fed up with roundabout conversation, we were just going around in circles. God damn it. Kara, was the most aesthetically pleasing gaming laptop? So, that I know of, I think Ish is probably right. That would be the Blade Stealth or something like that. Although it's not really a gaming laptop, so yeah, the standard Blade. Personally, from what I've had experience with, the MSI... Oh, actually no, the Aorus X3 V7, whatever it is. No, the Aorus X3. Oh, of course, Nathan. Oh, of course, that's the comment that Nathan jumps into. But yes, so yeah, the X3, Aorus X3 is probably the nicest one that I've used personally. Seconded to that would be the MSI GS63, I think. Would be second. You got so 16 gigs, 3200, RX 480, 8 gig, Crossfire in a few days, X370, H150 iPro, and of course the Hero 6. Nice. Interesting. Why are you going for RX 480 Crossfire? as opposed to a single card solution? Is that because you already had the RX 480 and you just recently upgraded the build, or is that something that you intended on when you built the system? Greg B, looking to build my first gaming PC very soon. Want to be able to run games like Rainbow Six Siege, good man, at medium settings, as no one does high. Well, I do, but I'm an idiot. Around 100 FPS for about £400. Is 400 enough? So £400 right now isn't going to get you that much. It's going to get you one of the new APUs. I don't think at 1080p, I don't think that's necessarily going to be 100 FPS even on medium settings. It's probably going to be more like 60, 50. But yeah, I would, if you can get that to 500, I think you can stretch the budget a little bit more and get something like a 1050 or a 1050 Ti. The system that I would go with for that config would be oh, see you, Matt, and see you, Lav Up. Apologies. The system that I would go for about 500 would be something like a Ryzen 1200 or a i5 7400, and then either a B250 or a B350 motherboard to go with it. And then something like a 1050 or 1050 Ti, depending on prices. Probably to start off with, for that budget, 8 gigs of RAM, maybe 450 watt power supply, something like a Corsair EX or VS. Whatever case fits your budget and looks alright for you. Go with the stock cooler to start with. Or if you go with the Intel one, if you can stretch it, go for a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. And did I miss anything? Graphics card. If you can get an SSD, go for it. If not, go for a 1 terabyte hard drive, and then be prepared to get an SSD in the relatively near future, and reinstall your OS on that. Super user, my son had a 1050 Ti. It played most games on medium. Yes, exactly. It does a pretty good job. Asker also bought two XG258. Oh, interesting. Okay, fair play. Again, why did you go with two RX 480s as opposed to something like a Vega 64 if you wanted AMD or a 1080 or a 1080 Ti for NVIDIA? Greg B, Ti is titanium, so it's effectively 0.5. It's the half step. So the 1050 is the the 1050, and then the 1050 Ti is the slight step up from that. It's not quite, the next card up is not quite a 1060. Just as a separate one, the 1060, the 3 gig is actually a different core to the 1060 6 gig. So if you did end up going for that, which is probably out of your price range at this point just because of pricing, just bear in mind that the 1063 gig is a completely different card to the 1066 gig, and I still hate NVIDIA for doing that. Why isn't there a 1090? Because traditionally the 9 has been for dual GPU cards, and that's just not been of interest to NVIDIA. I mean, they did move that to the Titan ZZ, whatever. But yeah. Is it 1080? Yes, it's a step above the 1080, but just because it's a step above doesn't mean that there has to be something above that. That's just branding though. Mr. Orange, my Elgato doesn't let me record higher than 720p, which is probably due to having a very low-end PC. Okay, fair play, fair play. Yeah, halfway step. Step up doesn't mean there's something above it. Yes, exactly, Greg. So like an iPhone 6 versus 6S. Well, kinda, yeah, basically. Bought 1066 gig because there wasn't a difference in price when I bought it, but that was a year ago though. Prices have changed a bit. Cool. Well, I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, I should be back next week. Same time as usual. And yeah, got some cool videos coming out. Feel free to, you know, check them out when you can. Yeah. Year of Bitcoin. I will damn, that's a good price, Jonathan. Apologies, Stein. I'm gonna disappear. I will enjoy one of these though. But yeah. Oh god, I'm not copying Linus, alright? No. I'm just not going there. But yeah, I'll catch you later, guys. Yeah. There we go. Ow.